Hi everyone, my name's Madison Silk and I'm a solution engineer here at Notion. Today I'm going to jump into the Notion platform to show you how teams can reduce busy work and gain valuable time back by leveraging custom agents in Notion. And to do that, I want you all to meet Beth. She's a group product manager at a technology company. And product teams like Beth's have one core goal: to ship great products faster. Now, Beth has a lot to do today. She has to follow up on some questions from a customer. She has a customer meeting to attend. She also needs to track any feature requests and bugs that come from that meeting, and then create her weekly report for her manager. But Beth has been struggling lately, mainly because all of these tasks are important, but they can be quite time-consuming. Getting answers to customer questions can take asking multiple people and waiting for their response. Tracking feature requests and bugs is very manual, and details often forgotten, pretty much as soon as the meeting's over. And creating her weekly report is time-consuming for both Beth and her team. But luckily for Beth, she has custom agents as her teammates. So let's have a look at how Beth's day can be more efficient by having these agents remove some of the busy work so she can focus on the important things, like having a really productive customer meeting. So the first thing on Beth's to-do list is to follow up on some technical questions from her customer. Now, to do this, she'll have to get her engineering team involved, and she decides the quickest way is to post in their dedicated Slack channel, as you can see here. So Beth asks, is there a rate limit on webhook endpoints, and adds some extra details for context. But like most engineering teams, they are swamped with questions, and Beth may need to wait a day for a response. But in just a few seconds, she's got a new reply. Meet the engineering team's Q&A agent, an agent that can answer questions for the engineering team based on their documentation inside Notion. In no time at all, this agent has given Beth a comprehensive answer that is easily shareable with her customer, along with the link to the relevant page inside Notion for her to investigate further if she needs to. This means that Beth hasn't had to hunt for this information herself, the engineering team didn't have to stop what they were doing to answer her question, and the customer didn't have to wait a day for a response. Actually, Beth has another question for the engineering team. She asks what's included in the version 3.2 release. And if we wait just a second, we've got a new reply. It looks like the agent doesn't know the answer to this one, but not to worry. It is tagged the engineer Laura, who's responsible for this release. Laura can now prioritize Beth's question. And because she's not answering every single question in this channel, she's able to respond right away. Beth's very happy. She's got her answer from Laura. But wouldn't it be great if we could document this information in Notion so the agent can answer this question the next time it comes up? Well, actually, the engineering team has set up their custom agent to do just this. Now the agent can take Laura's response and draft a release page inside Notion. Laura can then review the new document, approve it, and verify it for a selected period of time so that teams know the information's up to date. The agent can now reference this particular page to answer any questions about the release moving forward. So as time goes on and their knowledge base gets larger, the team will have to answer less and less questions. What we just saw is how the Q&A agent could monitor the engineering team's Slack channel, answer the question from their dedicated knowledge base, and if it couldn't, it tagged the right person to answer the question and turned the response into a drafted document for review. Well, Beth can get back to her customer in record time, and the engineering team can focus on the questions that need human input. Beth can cross that off her to-do list. Now it's time for Beth to jump into a meeting with her client, Goldleaf. Beth opens her customer meeting document and starts transcribing the meeting with Notion's AI meeting notes. She can tick off agenda items, write her own notes, and transcribe the entire call on the one single page. This means she can be present during the meeting instead of scrambling to make sure the relevant points were captured. At the end of the call, she's provided with a clean summary with relevant headings and key action items to tick off. If she needs to review a certain part of the meeting, she's directed back to the transcript. The best part? These notes are captured in context along with all of the research she did for the meeting and every other call she has for Gold Leaf. But this doesn't just benefit Beth and her team. It provides context for her custom agents. Now, during this call, the customer brought up a number of bugs and feature requests that Beth really needs to log for her team. Though honestly, these requests can sometimes fall through the cracks. And when Beth does log them, it's a very manual and time-consuming process. However, Beth doesn't have to worry about that because she's set up a custom agent to do this for her team. Beth's meeting has finished, and look at that. Her custom agent has reviewed the transcript from the AI meeting notes and pulled out the feature requests and bugs that were mentioned, along with the relevant quotes. The agent also makes the bug visible to the engineering team on their bug tracker, auto-categorizes the severity, and merges the record if it's already been logged. It can even assign the right engineer to the task based on any predefined rules detailing who's working on what. This means customer-facing teams can capture bugs without lifting a finger, and engineering teams can resolve them faster by having all of the context instantly. And what about those really valuable feature requests? The custom agent makes these visible in a feature request tracker for our head of product, tagged with which customer they came from, and even linked to the relevant product roadmap item. Now teams like Beth's can see at a glance what the top features are and prioritize what to ship next. Beth had the meeting and her custom agent did the rest for her. Now she can get on with the rest of her day. The last thing on Beth's to-do list is to prepare a weekly progress update for her manager, so she needs to compile all the updates from her team. This means reminding her team to fill in their updates, pulling information from Slack, email, meetings, and spending her Friday afternoon on this report. But lately, she's been asking Notion AI to do this for her, while mapping it against her team's OKRs. Notion AI pulls in relevant information from her workspace and connected apps like Slack and Gmail to create the report. She can also specify how she wants this update to be formatted by mentioning the template she uses. We can even watch the update in real time. Now, this is great. Beth's got her report done for this week, but this is actually a report she has to do every single week without fail. This is exactly the sort of thing that can now be delegated to a Notion custom agent. So why don't we build this custom agent together to help Beth automate her weekly report? Before we dive into building, let's run through the anatomy of every single custom agent. There are 3 components: the trigger, instructions, and the tools and access. The trigger is when you want your agent to run. When a page is added in Notion, when a message is posted in Slack, or even receiving an email. You can also set them on a schedule. In this case, Beth wants this agent to run every Friday at 9 a.m. The second part of the agent is its instructions. You can write in natural language what you want your agent to do, so no need to mess around with flowcharts or code. Finally, you can choose which tools and sources your agent can access with granular permissions. You also have the ability to choose which model you think is best for the job. With Notion, you get access to all of the most up-to-date LLMs. Let's get building. There are a number of easy ways to get started building a custom agent. You can choose from one of the templates shown, or we can simply tell Notion exactly how we want the agent to work. So let's say, every Friday, look through my team's updates, create a new page in my dedicated database, using my template, and notify me on Slack. Now let's watch my custom agent build itself. It will add the relevant trigger, turn my prompt into more fleshed out instructions, and add the pages it needs access to. I'll go ahead and save that. I think that's looking good. I'll just rename Beth's custom agent to Reporting Richard. I can easily make any edits to the triggers, instructions, or access if I need to. The best part, I can share this agent with Beth, and she can get started using it straight away. Let's fast forward a week to see Reporting Richard in action. Beth logs in at 9 a.m. on Friday and is instantly greeted with a Slack message telling her that her report is complete for the week. She can click through the link, look at the results, make any changes she needs, and @mention her manager. Something that used to take hours of manual time from her team and Beth's time to collate the report is now ready for her in Slack every single week. Beth can definitely cross that off her list. Today we saw how custom agents can reduce the busy work teams have to do so they can focus on the meaningful work. We saw how a Q&A agent can take the load off busy engineering teams by answering questions in Slack from knowledge inside of Notion, and how other teams and customers can benefit from these rapid responses. We saw how when gaps were identified in the knowledge base, the agent was able to draft new pages based on human responses in Slack, creating a self-healing knowledge base. We also saw how a feature request and bug agent can scan through customer call transcripts to pull out both feature requests and bugs. How it could log these with the correct teams and tag them accordingly. This means customer-facing teams don't let any feedback fall through the cracks, and the product teams get a holistic insight into what customers need as the feedback is captured. And finally, we built our very own custom agent to help Beth with her weekly update report. In one single prompt, we were able to set up an agent that searches across her team's updates and creates a report every Friday. Something that used to take her hours is now ready to go in her Slack every single week. Beth spends less time on the busy work and more time on building her life's work. Custom agents can automate repetitive work for you and your team. Give them a job, set them a trigger or a schedule, and they'll get it done 24/7. Work that used to require constant coordination now runs on its own, even when your team is offline. Today I've shown you 3 examples of how teams can benefit from custom agents. But the possibilities are endless and can be customized for your teams and how they like to work. So what processes can you automate so you can stop the busy work and focus on the work that really drives value? We can't wait to see what you build.